Hello everyone, it's another video and this time we're looking at my epic. Now this video will be broken into a couple of sections due to the fact I can't fit it all very nicely into this little board. So to come there will be orcs, there'll be some chaos, some Eldar, but mainly this is a show and tell because it's been so long since I've played epic. I honestly can't remember half of what anything is anymore. But let's go have a look. So we have an Imperator Titan, which I'm very happy with. I've got another two, I think maybe three still to be put together, of which one has got the alternate arms, so I must get around to one day doing that, but I don't know, the way I'm going these days probably nothing will ever happen. Then I've got my Titans. Now there are 6 of them and they all came from the original box set, so I've given them I think essentially the weapon options that were available on the cards from yeah, I might even remember it, but anyway, this is mainly show and tell, to be honest. I've forgotten what everything is. Some warhounds, some, which I'm quite pleased of, my knights, and some reavers, some smaller knights. I think I've still got some more of the metal ones still floating around. There's a metal chap with those other household knights there. So I have a Leviathan, which there may be another one, although I have a feeling it may be for the dwarves. I'm not too sure. Then there's the Mars Ordinatus. I think that's what it is. There's some aircraft which I think I'm using for my Ultramarines. They're just sitting in this unit at the moment. So, but we have cavalry for my impies, infantry. So lots of, I think that's one command worth under the old rules. There, I think heavy weapon units. I'm not too sure. Then there's all my vehicles, which I do love my vehicles. The super heavies, some demolishers, basilisks, hellhounds. I think Hellhound version 2. That's the very first version, which I must admit it's not particularly appealing. But hey, I've got one, or a set of 3. Flak. What are they called? Manticore missile batteries or something? Can't remember. These are ringers from a company in the UK that did 10mm, and I've used them as my infantry for heavy weapon teams. So that's worked out well. Hopefully my phone's not going to show this, yes. So we've got lots and lots of some eggs on legs. We all remember them. I'm trying to remember, do I have any for 40k? I think I did, but I traded them with a mate who was doing a what was it, a Gene Stealer cult army at the time, and I think those eggs on legs went there. Bikes with a command. So then we've got what's that, some commissars, some ratlings, some robots, some ogrons. I just found that, look, as long as you've got some ogrons, as long as it's not just one, that's good enough to represent for me. Assault troops, so jetpack, and that, so that all worked out well. Then I've got just some Space Marines. So I think there were 2 stands to a to a Land Raider? I don't know. That's what was sitting in the box. Who knows? Squat mole mortars, some rhinos, some Space Marines, the original ones. But you can see, yeah, they weren't particularly exciting. You only got one pose. There was no command or anything. All you got was a banner pole, really. So it wasn't until we got the next release that gave us all the extra goodies. So, but yeah. All right, well, that's the one part. I'm not sure how this will be ordered when it finally comes out as a video, but there you go. That's my, I guess, well, I call it my second Legion. So on to the next. Next is I guess the Space Marine component, or full Space Marine component. I've got some Blood Angels and obviously Ultramarines, because I suppose Ultramarines was the least constrictive, I suppose, I think. I honestly can't recall anymore, but old style Land Raiders, nothing wrong with them. Square bases for everything. So, different lots of dreadnoughts here. There's those, the ones in the top left and the bottom right were the metal ones that came in the blisters with, I can't remember if they came with blisters for the Titans, or whether or not they came with blisters with the vehicles and that. I'm not too sure, but yeah. But yeah, as I said, I'm not. I could spend my time, but I think I rushed these out, to be honest. But with Epic, it's what you make of them. If they look good at 3 feet, they're good enough to play with, is an adage an old friend of mine had. So so there we go. That's the Space Marine contingent. I confess my chaos at this stage is incredibly limited. As you can see, all I've really got is some Titans, and obviously some that have warped over time. Then I've just got Juggernauts, Slaaneshi, whatever they were, or Champions, I can't remember what they were. I don't even know if they're the right demons, or whether or not I've just taken Nurglings and made them. Probably the case. Some plastic knights, and then a whole heap of, well, dreadnoughts, and then these little chaps. But yeah, that's it for the Chaos contingent. The Eldar. Well, I did have the Eldar nicely laid out on the little board that this box is sitting on. Unfortunately, my forgetfulness had it all packed away, and I, for the life of me, cannot be bothered to try and unpack it and put it out for display. But as you can see, hopefully not with too much shadow, that's what I've painted. There's quite a bit more still floating around, but I'll get to them eventually. But there we go, that's a bit of Eldar. But I guess while I've got this little bit of... The biggest problem I've got with Epic is trying to obviously store it. And what I found was that with these boxes, I think they're shoe boxes, I think, but they very nicely come with these intersections that, as you can see, fill into here. And what I've managed to do is that if I can put them at just the right height, as you can see, they nicely spot in there, they don't interfere with any of the models. I can then take my insert, which I haven't quite finished on, but the insert, as you can see, can very nicely fit in here. creating. Oh, gee, I might have to shave a little bit off. But then we have yet another. Yeah, I've got to shave a bit off, I think, on one side. And then I've got another shelf, which now gives me obviously 2 shelves worth of stuff for the Epic. Thankfully, most of the Epic isn't very tall. It's only the vehicles and stuff. So, yeah. On to the next. Right, very good. Oh, very good. Yes, of course, John. A very quick look at painted squats. So, I think they've... Let's see if I can get a bit of light around here. I think they've turned out, for the most part, fairly good. Or fairly well. So, bikes, third artillery, mole mortars, robots. I've got more of these floating around. They've just got to be tidied up and based, I guess, at some point in time. But like everything, it's a job that might one day be seen. So that's the squats that are painted. Right, and the last of the painted Epic are my orcs, of which I guess they're probably the best of my collection. Certainly, I would think. But as you can see, quite a few stompers. What's that? Mega Gargant? Yeah, Gargants. I honestly do not like these ones. They're not as characterful, in my opinion, as these old roundish ones. Honestly, don't know what possessed me when I painted in those colours, but yeah, got a few. A lot of my orcs are still sitting unpainted, and as you can see, quite a lot. Some fighter bombers, and yeah, as you can see, just loads. Don't know how well that's going to turn out, but you can see I've got banners for the boys, which has worked out well. And yeah, but yeah, the orcs are certainly my favourites. And bikes, lots of bikes. Ball boys in the front there, and Bad Moon Tower, or the, what are they? Lifter droppers? Yeah. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah. But no, so there you go. That's so far what I've painted in my Epic Orcs. So this is the last of what you will see, and of my Epic painted. So thank you very much for your time. Till next time, signing off, the Honourable John.